Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we tackled the Malibu Club mission called The Driver. This video is all about the fourth and final Malibu Club mission. It is called The Job. The other three Malibu Club missions were all about getting our team together in preparation for this mission right here, The Job. We've got our locksmith, we've got our gun guy, and we've got our driver. Let's put everything together and get this heist done.
As you can see, gentlemen, this is going to be the easiest buck we ever made.
Tommy, seriously, you gotta consider going into law.
What the hell are you smoking, man? This ain't no simple plan. Well, who needs a simple plan anyway? Take communism. Now that was a simple plan. Didn't do Russia any favors, huh?
Calm down, all right? With a team like this, it's going to be no problem. We got Cam on safe. Phil, you and me will handle security. And Hillary will drive the getaway car.
Aren't you forgetting somebody? Somebody who helped you to no end in this town? Somebody
Ken, that's right. Ken here, he washes the money for us. And he keeps the drinks on ice.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Look, it's easy. Haven't you ever seen a movie? We walk into the bank, we wave the gun around, and leave very rich men.
During this vanilla attempt, I'll interrupt my commentary for each piece of dialogue.
I'll drive.
Great! A passenger!
I tell the group about this.
I never understood Hillary's line about the passenger right there. He talked about group. I think that means group therapy, and he's really troubled, so I'm glad he's in therapy. Mental health is important. But what was he excited about with that passenger thing? Let us know in the comments if you have any guesses.
Tommy, Hillary's taking up too much room.
I am not.
R2?
Hey, shut up, you two, or you can get out and walk.
Yeah, Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary. I love that line. It gets me every time. Reminds me of growing up with my brother, and the two of us would get scolded by our parents for doing something we weren't supposed to do, and after we both got jointly scolded, I'd turn to him, yeah, Billy, as if I was on the team with my parents. So I'll point out here that there is no dialogue happening right now. We're just making this drive over to the bank that we're going to rob, and it's an odd thing to point out, but if you damage the taxi a ton, then there is a bunch of dialogue. And so in my next attempt here in this video, I will play that dialogue for you. But I just want to point out its absence right now.
For God's sakes, Phil, stop waving that thing around.
What was Phil waving around? I'm assuming it was his gun, but I think playing all these GTA games has corrupted my mind.
Keep driving around the block, okay?
Okay, Tommy, okay.
Believe it or not, I've actually failed this mission on more than one occasion, just walking from the cab here over to the bank. If either Phil or Cam dies here in this walk because I got hit by a car, then you fail. And again, that has happened to me more than once. So many ways to fail this mission, my goodness. Now we get to one of my favorite cutscenes in the game. It's this really cool part where Tommy is walking out from the bushes with the hockey mask on.
Okay, guys, nice and easy, just as we planned.
Oh, love it so much. So cool. All right, let's move on to the next phase of this many-phased mission, where we will announce that we are robbing the bank and check out the well-synchronized putting up of hands by the hostages.
This is a raid! Nobody move! Everybody up against that wall!
Phil, hold down the fort.
Wilco, roger that.
Come on, Cam, the vault's upstairs.
Phil just said Wilco, roger that. Phil claims to have a military background, and I'll say that Wilco is military slang or military jargon, I guess. It's short for will comply and is used to indicate agreement or compliance, especially in radio communications. And roger that just means, yes, I've heard, I accept, I understand. Again, military jargon. So if you walk over to the TVs, you get this full screen view of all the security cam footage live as it's happening. And you can see security guards walking around. You can see Phil walking around in the lobby where we left him right there. Really, really nice detail. 60 frames per second in that counter on the bottom right. Here I'm going to zoom in. I can't tell. I don't know what I'm looking at. Explain to me. I see two different images. I don't know what either of them is. Tell me what that is. Maybe it's just a copy of the thing from the Vercetti estate, the mansion that Ricardo Diaz had. We are going to get this bank manager involved at some point later in this mission. He's here at the moment, but you can't really interact with him. He doesn't talk. If you kill him, you're going to fail. But anyway, so he's there, and then we will continue taking out these security guards and making our way upstairs to the vault. I've also failed this mission for accidentally losing Cam Jones here at this elevator, where he just got stuck behind a wall somewhere and didn't make it into the elevator before some invisible countdown happened. And then I failed for, I don't know, losing Cam or something.
Damn! It's a flangy 9000. This could take hours to crack, or 5 minutes if you could find the manager.
I'll go find where he's holed up.
Cam just recognized the lock as being a flangy 9000. So the word flange is actually a real word. So I think Phil just mispronounced it. So I'll read you the definition of flange here.
Phil, things still sweet?
Sure. Everything's real quiet.
You're coming with me.
Okay. Just don't shoot.
A protruding rim, edge, rib, or collar, as on a wheel or a pipe shaft, used to strengthen an object, hold it in place, or attach it to another object.
I said nobody move!
So I couldn't find anything about the word flange and locks, like actual locks, when I searched online.
It's on a time lock. You might as well give up now.
Hell, I can bypass the time lock. Then we just need your key code and we're good.
Stay here. You try anything and you're dead. I'm going to check on Phil. I'll be right back.
But I could see some connection here. You know, there's a strengthening element here or holding in place. And, you know, stuff like that is important for lock design.
I told you not to touch that alarm! The SWAT team will be here any minute. I could do with some help here, Tommy!
LA City SWAT, you are completely surrounded.
Surrounded? They're crapping themselves! Rotten bastards!
Tommy, the vault's open.
Okay, we got the SWAT retirement fund. Let's get out of here.
Okay, you asked for it. You had your last chance.
They're storming the place! Take cover!
But again, I think it should have been pronounced flange 9000, not flangy 9000. Okay, we've moved through several more phases of this mission. We need to kill a bunch of these guards, not all of them. I don't know exactly which ones, but eventually you get dialogue saying you can proceed to leaving the bank.
Go! Yeah, where's Hillary? I'll give him abandonment issues.
Hey, guys! Get in! I got you covered!
And now we get to the part that I think is the toughest part of the mission, the most frustrating part, the most random part is just getting Phil into a getaway vehicle. Sometimes I come out of the bank, you know, like Hillary dies as scheduled, and then as soon as I get control, Phil is shot and he dies and it's mission fail. I've lost Phil. Phil, get your butt into this car. It's okay if Cam dies here, but not Phil. Phil dies at any point during this mission and you fail. Usually, if I get Phil into a getaway vehicle like I've done here, then I pass the mission. You just make the short drive over to the paint spray, lose your wanted attention, and then it's just another short drive to the final mission ending marker. But in this case, I got clobbered by police. I'm a police enforcer. I'm on fire. I can't even get out yet because we're moving too fast. And I'm going to survive this explosion, but Phil is not, and we fail. Oh, gosh, couldn't even pass this thing on my vanilla attempt. I mentioned that there's some bonus dialogue if you damage the taxi a ton, and here it is.
Run! You cling to an illusion of permanence. What? You think all things will last. Youth, loved ones, pizza. All will pass or end, and you must accept that.
Right. Thanks, Cam.
Don't mention it.
No, I haven't passed this mission yet in this video. I'll show you a pass during my challenge attempt later in this video. We're just going to move on to fail states and quirks because you saw essentially all of the mission. I just needed to get rid of that wanted attention. Okay, mission failed. That's right. Just wander about dressed like a lunatic and draw attention to yourself. Idiot. Here we'll get that dialogue again for damaging the taxi.
Hey, watch the wheels, Tommy! The car's ruined! Ruined!
You cling to an illusion of permanence. What? You think all things will last.
You can see here that neither Hillary nor Cam is moving their lips. I guess the programmers weren't expecting you to damage the taxi from outside the taxi, only from inside the taxi where you wouldn't be able to see that their lips weren't moving anyway. Okay, so blowing up the taxi or damaging it so much that it blows up is a fail state. Let's see. Oh, in caps, you trashed the getaway car. 2 exclamation points. Wow, that is shouty. Killing any of the team members here results in a mission fail. We'll start with Hillary. Actually, Phil ate it too, but anyway, the message we get at the bottom is Hillary's dead. But Phil will get his turn. Here it comes. Boom. And then Phil's dead. And then finally Cam feeling left out of the party. Welcome, friend. And then, of course, we get the same message there. Cam's dead. So what happens if we drive off without these guys in the beginning? Well, we get 3 different messages, one for each of the guys. So little cut here. I'll drive away. Hillary's been abandoned. Oh, that's just so wrong. Cam's been left behind. Yes, he has. Another cut. You've lost Phil. Yes, I have. Okay, what if we bring them all over to the bank in a different vehicle? So this Rumpo's got 4 seats, and the taxi still has a pink arrow on top of it, and the minimap still has a yellow square where the taxi is. That's not a good sign. So you can bring everybody over to the bank, but you cannot proceed with the mission. The pink marker just doesn't show up here unless you've got everybody in the taxi. When we all get to the bank, Tommy tells Hillary to drive around the block. Well, I wanted to see if Hillary actually followed the instructions. Wait, Hillary, wait for me. I'm the boss of this. Look, Hillary stopped at a traffic light. That's noble. All right, I think I just got to get in front of him, and then he'll slow down, hopefully, not run me over. Let's go. All right, relax. Oh, he just ran over Cam. Okay, so yeah, Hillary just drives, and you're welcome to get a ride on top of the vehicle if you want. I'm not going to show you the several minutes of me standing on top of the taxi here. The only thing that's notable is that Hillary follows traffic laws, and he definitely doesn't go around the block. He's got a long circuitous path that he follows, but not really anything interesting happens here. Here's another fail state. So we're very early in the mission here, and we're going to head over to the bank manager, who we're not supposed to interact with yet, not until we get Cam upstairs. But if you kill the bank manager at any point during the mission, you failed. You needed the bank manager alive. Now I'm going to type a cheat code to change my outfit. So pause the video here, make your best guess on who that character is looking at the back. And you get a little bit of a view from the front. Maybe that makes it a little bit easier. And if you're still not sure, the code is "My son is a lawyer." Yeah, that's Ken Rosenberg. And then we get the same message for going too far. Just wander about dressed like a lunatic. That's harsh. I think Ken dresses nicely. Different attempt here, but yeah, Ken is doing his thing. He's tired of just pouring coffee for the team here. He wants to be front and center. And yeah, you can proceed through the entire mission in a different outfit.
Tommy, the vault's open.
If Cam dies before he tells us that the vault is open, then it's mission fail. But if Cam dies after that, then it's okay. So Cam's dead, and you can see there's now an upwards yellow triangle on the mini-map, and we go up there, and that upwards yellow triangle represents the briefcase of money. Right, so Cam unlocked the safe and then took all the money, and he had the money, and it's fine if he gets out and survives and gets into the getaway vehicle, but it's also fine if he doesn't. I'm fast forwarding here through, killing all the guys. You can see there's nobody else left, no SWAT guys left, nobody's shooting. But Phil doesn't give the line about it being time to go until you get the briefcase. That's the last of them. Go, go, go. Right, and then you can proceed with the mission as usual. So fast forwarding here as well.
That's the last of them. Go, go, go!
And again, the only one of the team members that needs to survive is Phil. He has to make it all the way to the end of the mission.
Where's Cam?
History.
Yeah, where's Hillary? I'll give him abandonment issues.
And so I actually haven't even shown you a pass of this mission yet, but I'll do my best here as Ken Rosenberg. Okay, Phil, hop in. Phil, show a little hustle. All right, and like I mentioned before, usually if I get Phil into the getaway vehicle, I'm okay, but in this case, we've lost a tire, and now the enforcer is pushing me way out of control. All right, leave me alone. I'm right here, and backwards. Okay, I can do that. Backwards is fine. And one thing the trivia section of the wiki points out about this mission is that even after you clear your wanted level, the SWAT team does not get the message. So you're going to see here I'm getting shot at from the left-hand side. I think we're going to lose this guy right here. And there's another guy. We lost 1 tire, 2 tires, something like that. So the SWAT guys do not care that you have 0 stars. It's just a bug in the program for this particular mission. But here we are, getting back to the ending mission marker. It's right in front of Cam's place. Cam has a locksmith business right over here. And we go into the first pink marker. What's it called? Cam's can openers. That's cute. And then we'll head into the second pink marker, and there's extra dialogue because Cam died.
We made it! We're rich! Rich! Thank you, Mike. He's a good guy.
Yeah, still more for us.
Damn straight! Yeah!
me, would you like a massage?
Oh, hi there, Mercedes. Yeah, I'm a little tense.
What I tell you, Tommy? What I tell you? Ben Swat better watch out when Ken Paul is in town. Come on, give me a bit of a slice, mate. Come on, I've got to get some new friends.
So that is mission pass, 50,000 bucks thrown on the pile. Bank heist asset completed. We did all 4 of the Malibu Club missions, and we can get revenue up to 10,000 bucks a day. That's nice. Notice that we're in the soiree outfit. It doesn't matter what outfit you're in when you start this mission, you always end in the soiree outfit, bank job outfit, delivered to the Malibu Club by passing this mission. Even though there was that line about more money for us since Cam was dead, the award for passing this mission is $50,000 regardless of whether or not Cam survives. And I'm always surprised to hear the voices of Mercedes and Kent Paul in the post-mission cutscene after this mission, because I don't think they had anything to do with the 4 missions that we just completed. But let me know in the comments if there's some connection between Mercedes or Kent Paul and the 4 Malibu Club asset missions we just did. The hostages in the bank are quite obedient unless you kill 3 of them. So there's 2, everything's good, but I kill this 3rd person and it's just a riot. We got 3 stars, and then the folks in the bank just start beating the crap out of poor Cam and Phil. Nobody's even attacking me. I'm the one that shot 3 hostages. Yeah, all right. So, so they're taking no prisoners here. I'm gonna fast forward. Just I was curious to see if they're actually doing damage. Sometimes the NPCs can't really hurt each other, even though it looks like they are. But Phil died and got magically teleported out of the bank, and then he disappeared. So we've already seen what happens when you kill 3 of the hostages. The only thing I thought to try was to kill all of the hostages. This was kind of tricky to do, actually, because as soon as I killed the 3rd one, they start going after Cam and Phil, and I need to really make sure I don't kill either Cam or Phil, because that's going to be mission fail. It's kind of dark here in this part of the bank as well. First world problems, I know. Anyway, I thought this was going to be a short clip because I didn't think anything interesting was going to happen after I killed the last hostage. But it turns out lots of interesting things happened. All right, so everybody's dead and mission accomplished there. All right, so Cam is going to follow me up to these 2 security guards and then eventually up to the safe. So we killed the 2 security guards. Make sure Cam is still behind us. There he is. Wait, there's 2 Cams. Wait, that's Phil. Oh, all right. So Phil has decided there's nothing to do down on the main floor because everybody's dead. All right. So he's just going to follow us. Let's go. All right. Is Phil going to come onto the elevator with us? Does Phil know how to get onto the elevator in this mission? It sure looks like he's intent on following me and Cam. Okay, I only saw Cam get on. Yeah, Phil didn't get on, but he teleported up here to the 3rd floor. All right, let's take out this security guard. Is Phil going to join us for this little cutscene? In here, boys. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a flangy 9000, and Phil is right there on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. His presence is still felt. And Phil, let's go see where the manager is. Hold up. All right, so Phil is still following me. Is he going to get in the elevator with me like before? It doesn't look like it. And he also didn't teleport onto this 2nd floor. I tried to go back in the elevator to go back up to check on Phil, but I can't go back up in the elevator.
Phil, things still sweet?
Sure. Everything's real quiet.
It's comforting to know that the 15 or so corpses on the ground floor are real quiet. Check out the parkour move by the bank manager. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, and we'll head upstairs, see if Phil is still up there.
I said nobody move!
Phil continues to maintain good control of the corpses on the ground floor. He said, nobody move. All right, there's Phil. He's still up here. Okay, and is he going to be here during this cutscene as well? Let's check it out. Come on.
It's on a time lock. You might as well give up now.
Hell, I can bypass the time lock. Then we just need your key code and we're good.
Stay here. You try anything and you're dead. I'm going to check on Phil. I'll be right back.
Phil, how you been? I'm here to check on you. Everything still sweet? Okay, let's try the elevator again. So Phil has only managed to go up the elevator, but he failed at coming down. So I'm going to back in real slow to give him the best chance at getting in here. Did he make it? No, it doesn't look like it. And again, I can't go back up. Now, what's going to be interesting here is that Phil has a line when we get close to this railing.
I told you not to touch that alarm!
So now we're going to freeze the screen right here because all kinds of crazy stuff is happening. So we've got this security guard materializing out of nowhere, and he's going to fall a few more feet as soon as I unfreeze. And then in the top left of the screen, that's Cam. Those are his legs anyway. He's standing in his usual spot, ready to tell us that the vault is open. So here we are in half speed. The security guard who materialized has completed his fall. Cam has disappeared completely. You can go back and see that he's just not there anymore. And now we're just, what's happening? Oh, there's Phil. Made his way from the 3rd floor down to here. Who knows how?
The SWAT team will be here any minute. I could do with some help here, Tommy.
Why is Phil hassling me? I got down here before he did. All right, so what's really cool, so that the camera found Phil right here. Phil is talking, and the camera found him, even though he's not usually in that spot. He's on a desk like to the right of the screen. All right, so now Cam is back in his usual spot, even though he disappeared. I swear he disappeared. Now we're going to fast forward because we're just going to like kill everybody, all the SWAT guys as usual. And then let's see, that's I think there's one more guy. I thought I was done, but I just have to walk out. And then, all right, so there's some bullets. So we kill the last guy. And then normally Phil would say, okay, that's the last of them, let's go. But he didn't say that. Cam has again disappeared. And what do? Do I leave? Can I get out of here? I'm soft locked. I have broken the game of Vice City. What did I do? So it turns out to proceed here, I just needed to find Cam. He's just around the corner.
That's the last of them. Go, go, go.
That's the last of who? It's just Cam in an unusual spot. All right, I guess I could have just gone into the pink marker. I decided to try one more little shenanigan here. I'm going to punch Cam, and that is going to kill Cam for some reason and bring Phil out. That's the last of who? It's the last Cam. I guess that's true. All right, so check this out. Phil is walking over the corpse of Cam. He's got Cam's blood on his shoes, and yet he's forgotten what happened to Cam.
Where's Cam?
History.
Death. Where's Hillary?
Wow, gang, I was not expecting any of that. I just wanted to have a little fun by killing all of the hostages in the bank, and goodness, Cam ate it, the hostages ate it, even the security guard who materialized from space and fell down to the floor, he had to eat it too. Okay, last little thing here, just wanted to see if I could finish the mission on foot instead of in a vehicle, and you can. While we check out my challenge attempt for this mission, which is to pass with only the katana, let's talk a bit about the role of this mission in the game of Vice City. If you asked me to name the most important missions in Vice City, I would argue that there are 3 culminating missions in the entire game. I would say the first one is the mission Rub Out. That was the one where we had to kill Ricardo Diaz and take over his mansion, which was essentially the beginning of Tommy's spreading empire. And it also, passing that mission, unlocked all of the assets, all of the businesses that we could buy and do missions for throughout Vice City. So I would say that Rub Out is the first of these culminating missions. And essentially, it's like the ending of the beginning of the game. And then I would say the second culminating mission is this one, which you could do earlier in the game, right? You could have done it as soon as we passed the Rub Out mission, which unlocked all the assets. We could have bought the Malibu Club much earlier, but I saved it for here because I think it's a culminating mission, one of the 3 culminating missions of the game, where we, like do this big heist after a big setup, right? We had to do 3 setup missions before doing this big bank heist. And we'll talk about heists in the GTA universe in just a few minutes here in this video. So I would say this is the second culminating mission. And then the third culminating mission, in my opinion, is the final story mission of the game, Keep Your Friends Close. That's the one that gets the credits to roll at the end of the game. So clearly that's in the list of important missions in Vice City. I love this part coming up here with the katana. We have to go find the bank manager, and he's going to tell us not to shoot, even though we're wielding a katana. And Tommy, man, he goes a whole hog here. He's like pulling it back. I'm not just holding this katana gently. I'm going to stand aggressively ready to chop your head off if you don't follow me. And then he's going to do the same thing. So we get the bank manager into the elevator, and then Tommy's going to take his same aggressive katana pose right over here. Bam! Yeah, look at that. Half of Tommy is through the wall, like in those lockers or whatever. And he's like, I'm going to be very threatening to the bank manager with my, yeah, there it is. There it is. You show him, Tommy. Again, I think the most important missions in the game are Rub Out and The Job and Keep Your Friends Close. So that's my list. If you had to name your most important missions in Vice City, go ahead and list them in the comments below. You can name 1 or 2 or 3 or more, however many you want. But for me, those 3 missions, Rub Out, and this one right here, The Job, and then Keep Your Friends Close. Those are the defining missions, the canonical missions of the game of Vice City. Tommy's about to strike his favorite pose right here, real aggressive with the katana, facing the SWAT guys about to storm the place with their heavy guns. Now let's come back to the wiki for this mission. First of all, the name of the bank that we're robbing here is written on a giant sign right above the door that we walk into in the bank. I don't know if we saw that sign at any point in this video, but it's there. It is called in Spanish El Banco Corrupto Grande. And my high school Spanish tells me that means the bank corrupt giant, or shuffling those around, the giant corrupt bank, which is a pretty funny name. I'm not sure if I have the correct meaning of grande. It could mean something more than just giant in terms of stature, like size of the building. So if you speak Spanish, feel free to weigh in. What does that phrase actually translate to? El Banco Corrupto Grande. Okay, so this mission awards $50,000. It is tied for the highest awarding cash mission in the entire game, tied with the mission Rub Out. Again, one of my 3 culminating missions in the game. Those 2 are tied for tops. In fact, they both earn you more money than the final story mission of the game, Keep Your Friends Close, which earns $30,000. Again, this one and Rub Out both make $50,000. The final story mission, Keep Your Friends Close, gives you $30,000. And there's one other mission that gives you $30,000. That's the final Printworks mission. It's the second to last story mission of the game. That one is Cap the Collector. Again, that's $30,000, tied for the final story mission, Keep Your Friends Close, at $30,000. And those are the top 4 cash missions in the entire game. This one, Rub Out, $50,000. Keep Your Friends Close, Cap the Collector, $30,000. So I got a bit unlucky here. I didn't end up passing with my katana only challenge, but I mean, I got out of the bank, right? Like I killed everybody in the bank using only the katana, and I got out safely and alive, and I just got kind of unlucky with the taxi exploding, whatever. I'm going to call it a win, but I don't feel like doing that katana challenge again, so let's move on to my final challenge for this mission, which is the chainsaw only challenge. As we mentioned before, passing the job unlocks the bank job outfit for the rest of the game. It's over at the mall on the eastern island. And passing this mission also unlocks the first Phil mission. Yeah, so we met Phil a couple of episodes ago. He was our gun guy, and he has 2 missions to give us. And we can't do either of those 2 missions until we have passed this mission, the job. We've talked about this glitch before, but reading from the wiki, if the player completes 2-bit hit before completing the job, then the Havana outfit will be put behind an invisible wall and become unobtainable. To avoid this, the mission's Copland, no escape, and the job should be completed before 2-bit hit. This was patched on the Mac version and the mobile ports of the game. Occasionally during the SWAT breach part of the mission, one of the officers that must be killed in order to leave the bank becomes glitched within a wall and is unable to be killed, making this mission unable to be completed. This has been confirmed on the definitive edition as well. I have never seen this glitch. I didn't see it in any of my attempts at this mission for this video or any of my times speedrunning the game. From the trivia section of the wiki, the song that can be heard playing in the background during the opening cutscene is Freaks Come Out at Night by Houdini. This song isn't featured on any of the in-game radio stations, and it isn't played inside the Malibu Club during normal gameplay, but it does appear on an in-game radio station in the prequel game by City Stories. It appears on Fresh FM. This mission is the only time in the game where SWAT appears at a 3-star wanted level. Normally they only appear at a 4-star wanted level. It's also one of 2 missions where SWAT uses the MP5 instead of the micro SMG. The other is Juju Scramble. Since this is the final Malibu Club mission, it's time to rate the 4 Malibu Club missions. We'll go back to No Escape. That was the one where we had to rescue Cam from the police station and then bring him back to his building over on the western island. That's a really fun mission. You got to break him out of jail and get that card, and then wear the police outfit, and then lots of shooting and then harrowing drive out of there. 8 out of 10 for me on that one. Next up was the mission The Shootist. So that was the one where we had to recruit Phil by doing sufficiently well on his shooting range challenge, where we had to hit those moving targets. That mission isn't so great for me. It's kind of an annoying drive from the Malibu Club over to the ammunition, and then shooting the targets is not all that much fun. It's not very challenging, honestly. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Next was the driver, where we had to beat Hillary in a race. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10, gang. That race is just too hard. I've done that race at least 50 times, maybe 75 times. I still can't pass it consistently. I know I'm not the greatest gamer in the world, but I feel like after that many attempts, I should be able to pass it consistently. It's just too tough, just too much of an advantage, the Saber Turbo that Hillary has over our Sentinel. It's easier in a PCJ 600, but I'm not going to grade it because there's like a better way to do the mission than you're intended. And then finally, the job. As a speedrunner, 2 out of 10. I failed this thing so many times. So frustrating to fail this thing. It takes so long to go back and try the mission again if you fail it, and there's a lot of random moments where you could just fail through no fault of your own. But as a fan, a casual fan of Vice City, it's a 10 out of 10. It's one of the 3 culminating missions. So averaging these grades, let's see, we had 8, 6, 3, and 10. I guess we'll average them to a 7. So the Malibu Club gets a grade of 7. Normally, like I give a grade to a person. Let's give it to the Bikini cowboy waitress behind the bar. So she gets a 7 out of 10 for being the mission giver in the Malibu Club. And I mentioned that this mission is the first heist mission in a long line of heist missions in the GTA universe. So reading from the Heist wiki page, heists are elaborate multi-part story missions first introduced in Vice City that involve the setting up and subsequent execution of a major crime, usually a theft. The final crime tends to be a high-profit job that can earn the player a considerable sum of money, typically greater than would be expected of other missions. Since the origins of the concept in Vice City, several games in the series have included similar mission strands, most notably GTA 5 and GTA Online, which included a major heist component update. And now I'll quickly just read the names of the heist missions in various GTA games. So we start here with the job in Vice City. In San Andreas, breaking the bank at Caligula's is the heist mission. Check out the dialogue here.
We made it! We're rich!
Mercedes. Yeah, my little tents.
I just wanted to include that to point out that there isn't that line about Cam passing away and he was a good guy, but more money for us, and it's because Cam didn't die in this particular attempt. Okay, so that is the chainsaw mission passed, challenge passed. So all that's left to do is refill our health and then go put on the casual outfit that we had before we were forced into the soiree outfit. Let's go back to listing the heists in other GTA games. In GTA 4, there's a heist mission called Three Leaf Clover, where you rob the Bank of Liberty. In GTA 5, there's a ton, I don't know, 8? I'll just name them. The Jewel Store Job, the Merryweather Heist, Blitz Play, the Paletto Score, the Bureau Raid, and the Big Score. Tons of heists in GTA 5. Let's listen to this post-mission phone call from Phil, which is going to unlock him as a mission giver. It will add the P icon to the map, which isn't there right now, and that's what we'll tackle in the next video.
Tommy, I really enjoyed working with you. Ain't had so much fun since the Reg and Nom, pal. Anyhow, if you need anything, you call on me, you hear? Always remember those I served with, and I'm sure I can help you out, you hear?
And in GTA Online, the Fleeca job, the Prison Break, the Humane Labs raid, Series A funding, the Pacific Standard job, the Doomsday heist, the Diamond Casino heist, and finally the Cayo Perico heist. So again, tons of heists throughout the GTA universe, all starting right here with this great mission, The Job. If you have any memories of The Job that you'd like to share, go ahead and throw them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.